Soul friends, welcome back to another video from TheSimSanctuary. Today's video is a continuation of the 50 States California build, and by continuation I mean a completely different house. This home is inspired by the architecture and designs of Northern California. Now, Northern California is the part of California that I know better. I grew up here, and it's just, I think, a wonderful area, but while at times it may be, the trendsetter for style and stuff, I really wanted to base it off an older style home, and while it may look modern, it's kind of one of those contemporary or modern homes from decades ago. So the outside is pretty nice and modern, but then when we get into the interior, it's a little dated. And I've seen many homes like this. It's another kind of house that I built from my brain and not really as many reference photos. There are several house styles for California, and if I do a second series, I might dabble with that, but for now I want to do this kind of home because it's something that I think I know fairly well. But yeah, so I went kind of minimalistic on the landscaping in both houses. This is partially due to a very common occurrence in California, that being a drought. So a lot of homes are more drought friendly. So I put a lot of plants kind of where they would be visible, but I didn't do much to the sides. I did put trees though, because this home is more envisioned closer to like the Redwood National Park area than San Francisco or the capital or something like that. So yeah, with California, there's a lot of, important things. It's, LA is known to be kind of the haven for TV and film. Though I will say, the film Lady Bird that just came out this year, it's got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes or something. That does take place in Northern California, and I know I kind of looked up some fun facts for California, and Tom Hanks went to Sacramento State. So that's college up north, and a lot of actors actually come from this part of California. I know I think Jeremy Renner is from a city called Modesto, and yeah, there's probably too many to name at this point, but so Northern California does have its toe in the showbiz, I guess you could say, but in a way, Northern California and Southern California are vastly different. It's a lot of states in the United States are a lot smaller. California is not the biggest state, though. I think it is the third biggest state, I want to say, behind Alaska and Texas, which I'm very excited to do both of those homes for this series. And yeah, it's in the top. I think it's the third biggest, but I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Just because it's it can be a full day to travel from north to the south edge, I guess. It's a very narrow state though, so that's kind of, for what it has in the length of the state, it lacks in the width of the state. But yeah, so this is a 2-bedroom, no, it's a 3-bedroom home actually. I did a guest room in the first floor. I'll touch upon that right now, even though we're not even close to being there, I don't think. I built that room as sort of a sparsely used guest room, so there's not a ton of landscaping, or not landscaping, there's not a ton of what's the word? It's not a ton of decorations. And that's just because, I think it's kind of common in California because there's so much land and so much space, and a lot of these houses were built decades ago, there's more than sometimes necessary. So then you have like spare bedrooms and stuff where, people probably put dust covers up for when grandma visits, and then they can take everything down and she can at least sleep in a non-dusty room or something like that, who knows. But yeah, so I did that, and then there's a teenager's bedroom and a parent's bedroom. This kitchen, I kind of was unsure about at first, but I really like it. I think it came out really nice. It's a very open floor plan, which isn't uncommon in California. I think open floor plans really thrive in these size of homes here. So it's a definite, I think, accurate representation. But yeah, so if there's any states that you want me to, you want to see sooner rather than later, then please let me know down in the comments, and I will try to put that closer to the top of my list. California, I actually ended up moving up recently, just because I was always excited to do this, and then the excitement grew too much for me, so I had to do it, because I was kind of putting the series off. And yeah, so I'm really glad that I did these builds though, because it's something I had been looking forward to doing. I still have a few that I'm really excited to do. I've got an interesting idea for a couple, but yeah, so I'm really excited for what's coming up. In terms of other creators that I'm really excited about their recent builds, there's too many to name. I mentioned the channel Posh in my last 50 state series build, and I definitely do recommend checking out their channel. Fantastic builds, very high quality style, and the attention to detail in those builds is absolutely astonishing. And then I've also mentioned a million times Dr. Ashley, who is a wonderful person and a just incredible channel. Very great builds, prompt uploads and everything. I try to have the notification bell for most people, but if I was to forget for her, it wouldn't really matter, because her builds are always so prompt and on time. But I'm 90% sure I have the notification bell rung for her. Other people that are fantastic, of course, Falling in Shim, who at the time of recording this is about to hit 150 subscribers, and hopefully by the time this video goes live, she will have superseded that number. And Looney Solar Fox is also wonderful. Speaking of which, both Looney Solar and Falling in Shim did a collab a couple days back, and the house is phenomenal. Velma Wood, amazing. Christy Sims. I'm going to try to mention more people that I look up to in these videos, hopefully with purpose. That's what I always try to do. So if you hear me talking about a lot of people frequently, it's really because I have so much respect for them and their builds, and I want to yeah, let them know I appreciate them, and make sure if you're watching this that you know about them. So, you know, if it sounds like something you want to check out, then, you know, you can, and I'll try to remember to leave links. I know I say that in every video and I forget 90% of the time, but I will try to remember to leave links. But yeah, so with the two simmers that I mentioned, you know, Looney Soul, well, I did mention her, but I didn't talk too much about Vilma Wood and Christy Sims. They're both just amazing builders. I know I know it doesn't have, like, I know there's issues with playing it in game, but Vilma Wood did a house that was like a kind of a pyramid shape, I guess. It was a vacation home. I'll try to link it. And it just came out so wonderful, like the look of it. And I know there were some issues with like, I guess probably the layout and the like logistics of how it was built kind of prevented it from, you know, being 100% usable. But the overall look of it is just amazing, and it's reflective of really all her builds, and that they all look amazing. And I think every other build other than that is completely, you know, usable, and her room builds are just phenomenal. I love watching room builds, and her room builds are some of my favorites for sure. And then Christy Sims, you know, I'm gonna just repeat myself constantly because these are people I look up to, and just I love their builds, but her builds are phenomenal as well. And more importantly, she's so kind, and her stories that she tells, you know, while building, just entertain beyond belief. And yeah, she's doing a lot right now during Christmas time, and I really hope that everything works out great for her and she has a nice festivity. But yeah, so those are the people I'm going to mention for this video, but I'm going to try to mention, like I said, more frequently when the time, or when the opportunity arises, because I do sometimes take inspiration from people, and I try to always mention that, and you know, I'm just going to continue to do that. This daughter's, I kind of made it a daughter's bedroom. I kept, like, there's nothing too, well, actually some of the clutter items are a little more gender specific, but the kind of color palette is a lot, you know, lighter and brighter, so it could really go, you know, for any sim, even an adult sim that's single or a child sim. I kind of imagine them to be a kind of a music-oriented person. They have a violin, and they have that piano painting, and yeah, I really like how this house came out. Even watching this back, I'm really appreciating how it came out. I was a little nervous at first, but it came out a lot better than I had expected, and I was very fearful of this, because this is, you know, a build that's close to my heart, even though this is not a house I've ever lived in, and it's a house I don't think actually exists. You know, this kind of sums up my state, and you know, with every build I do, I hope it, you know, embraces the style of a state, or at least a city in a state, and I feel like this succeeds, but, you know, it's scary, I guess. But yeah, so if I do another series here, I will have, for this, also I do know I just said but if I do another series of this, I will have to, like, come up with, like, different ideas for it. So yeah, and I know I keep talking about doing a second series when I'm only like I don't know, 8-9 builds in, I think, because now the playlist is going to have 51 videos in it because of this 2-parter, but I'm fine with that. That's going to be a long playlist, but hopefully if somebody catches on to this after the series is over, they have the patience to watch it in its entirety, or they can just watch the builds of the houses they've lived in, or the states they've lived in. But yeah, so I hopefully we'll have some more build videos out later. The apartment renovation series is gonna continue on Wednesdays. I know it seemed very frequent the last couple days, but you know, now that all my VidMe exclusives have been moved over, the series will just kind of resume weekly. And also, I've never really figured out a day to post my room builds. I just kind of do it sporadically, and I kind of like that, because I think too much rigidness in my schedule can sometimes limit my creativity, because I start going, okay, well now I've got to get a room build ready. Oh no, now I've got to do an apartment renovation, and there's like really no spontaneity. And you know, spontaneity is good. I decided to build a 2x2 house the other day, and it wasn't going to be a video at first, but you know, I had to do it because I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed making it, so it became a video. And I think the last couple months, especially, you know, once I hit like 50 subscribers, I started thinking that, you know, getting more serious about doing these meant getting more serious about the schedule, and I don't think that's accurate. I think I thought too much into it, so I'm gonna kind of ease back on that. You know, I try to keep the time the same. I typically upload my videos at 3 p.m. on weekdays. That's Eastern time. That's noon Pacific Standard Time, which if you're in California, that's what the time you go off of is. And if you're in the UK, or if you're in Britain, that is somewhere between like 8 and 9, I want to say. I'm not sure, actually. I kind of just guess a lot. But so if you've come back from work and you want to watch it, then it's there. If you get home from school, it's there. And if you are like me and a lazy West Coaster, it's there at noon, so you can eat lunch and watch it. But anyways, here are the screenshots. They go by pretty quickly, and if you're wondering as to why, that is because the house tour that I will be doing, which is in the style of the previous 50 states intros, will be up hopefully tomorrow. It's quite a long video, not like too long, but it shows both houses and I think almost every room, and it just it's a lot of fun to do. And if you want to watch it and see the stylistic whatever, then definitely check that out. But if you enjoyed this video, then please hit the like button, and if you are new to the channel, please subscribe. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.